हेलो। हेलो बच्चों, आवाज़ आ रही है? हेलो। हेलो। हाँ। हेलो। मुझे आवाज़ आ रही है? हेलो। हेलो, आवाज़ आ रही बेटे? हेलो। हेलो बेटे, आवाज़ आ रही है? आर यू गेटिंग माई वॉइस? हेलो। 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 मॉडल बेटे? चेक ऑडियो। ओके। हेलो। हाँ, गुड इवनिंग जयप्रकाश। हाँ, गुड इवनिंग। हाउ आर यू बेटा? हाउ इज द क्वालिटी ऑफ वॉइस? वॉइस अच्छी आ रही है? कैमरा नहीं दिख रहा होगा ना? आज मेरा कैमरा मैंने ऑफ किया हुआ है बिकॉज लाइव में चल रहा है ना। तो मोहम्मद, हाउ आर यू? सत्या, स्टूडेंट्स आर ज्वाइनिंग ना, दैट्स व्हाई प्रॉब्लम इज हियर। ओके। ज्वाइनिंग वेरी स्लोली, दैट्स व्हाई। सो मोहम्मद, आई एम ऑडिबल टू यू? प्लीज कंफर्म बेटा। एम आई ऑडिबल? हेलो जयप्रकाश, परफेक्टली ऑडिबल ना? आई थिंक देर इज नो इशू। ओके, तो आज हम पढ़ने वाले हैं स्ट्रक्चर एंड फंक्शन ऑफ लिपिड, नोमेनक्लेचर, क्लासिफिकेशन, डिराइव्ड लिपिड। बहुत डेप्थ में स्टडी करेंगे फ्रॉम बेसिक। ओके, बेसिक इसलिए कि बिकॉज आपने रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि सर बायोकेमिस्ट्री का थोड़ा सा है ना। तो इन दिस क्लास वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड यू फ्रॉम बेसिक टू एडवांस। ओके, सो इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन यू कैन आस्क मी, राइट? हाँ, यू कैन आस्क मी इन द चैट बॉक्स ऑल्सो। जो लाइव में मुझे देख रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स, दे कैन आस्क मी। ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम। So आवाज़ में कोई डिफरेंस तो नहीं है बेटे? वॉइस इज ओके? Confirming, then we can start. Everyone should confirm. Jayaprakash has confirmed. Muhammad, Satya, Satya, I am requesting you to kindly fill the form after the class. I have shared again in the group, okay? Okay. Voice is breaking. Your network may be poor, so no problem. But I think audio quality is good. So if you are not able to watch, then then I can provide the recorded video. No problem. Okay, so let us start. Fine. So, what is the function of lipid? This is very important. If you want to study, if you want to motivate yourself, and if you will see according to the CSIR, right? So, function of lipid is very, very important. So, already lipid has a lot of energy, right? As compared to the carbohydrate and protein. So, this is acting as a storage form of energy, and they are important for the dietary component also, because there are large number of fat soluble vitamins, essential fatty acids are there, right? So that are required in the natural food. Okay, so if you are providing those essential fatty acid and incorporating some of the fat in your diet, then necessarily you are going to have all those vitamins which are fat soluble. Okay, so this is vital for two things. First, for the storage purpose, right? For the storage purpose. And why the storage purpose? Because they are providing lots of energy. Second, if you want to get the water fat soluble vitamins, then fat is essential. Okay, and also some of the fatty acid has been recognized as essential fatty acid, correct? And also they are the framework of cell membranes. Okay, so they are providing a very good framework of cell membrane for all living organisms, mostly vertebrates, and serve as a thermal insulator in the subcutaneous tissue and around certain organs. So, and also they are providing electrical insulation when there is a richness in the non-polar lipids, right? So whatever the brain and spinal cord are there, they are myelinated, means they are form of lipids. Okay, so I am talking about the brain and spinal cord. Clear? Okay, beta. If you have any question, you can ask me. You can interrupt me, right? So they are full of lipids. So which kind of lipid is important? That is the basic question. So if we are going to discuss in the detail their classification, their definition is very important, and which form of lipid, what are the backbone, what are the structure, then only you might be grasping it in the good way. Okay. So what are the definition of lipid? Can anyone tell me? What we can define a lipid? No idea? Any definition of lipid? Anyone might be knowing? Okay. This is a polymer of fats, right? Any other definition you might be thinking? Anyone? So you can define the lipid. Lipid are a heterogeneous group of compound including fats, oils, steroids, waxes and related compounds which are related more by their physical than by chemical property. This is the important heterogeneous group of compound that includes fats, oils, steroids, right, waxes and more of the compound that is derived lipids. Sorry. Okay. So heterogeneous group of compound, and they are distinguished class of compound which are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Okay. So these are something important for the lipid made up of esters bond. They have the ester bonds, right, and especially fatty acids. Lipid composition is basically the fatty acid, and fatty acid are what? Carboxylic acid with hydrocarbon chains, right. So what we can define lipids? Lipids exactly made up of fats and fatty acids, fats or fatty acids, and fatty acid is made up of carboxylic acid plus hydrocarbon chains. So what we can say about the lipid? They are especially made up of fatty acid. Fatty acid is made up of carboxylic acid and hydrocarbon chains. Hydrocarbon chains are very long. They can be from 4 to 36 carbon long. Clear? Okay, beta, this is clear or not? Satya, is it clear? So if you know the basic definition that lipids are the heterogeneous class of compound which include wide variety of things like fats, oil, steroid, waxes, derived lipid, but all they are made up of fatty acid. Fatty acid is made up of carboxylic acid and hydrocarbon chains. Hydrocarbon chains can be of 4 to 36 carbon long. Okay, 4 to 36 long chain, right. So this is clear, and that's why this long hydrocarbon chain provide them unique property. That's why we can see many biological functions in the form of cell membrane, as a mechanical barrier, right, and also they are essential for our life in the form of energy. This is clear? Okay. So if I am asking what is the name of fat soluble vitamins, any idea? So before the classification we have to look over the certain structural components, right. So lipid can be divided into two major class. One is the non-saponifiable lipids and saponifiable lipids. Okay, what are the non-saponifiable lipids? Non-saponifiable lipids that cannot be broken up into a smaller molecule by hydrolysis. You cannot break them. You cannot make them simpler. You cannot, right? You cannot break them into the simpler form. For example, triglyceride. Why you cannot break them? Because already they are in the simplest form. Already they are in the simplest form. Waxes, you cannot break them. Phospholipid, you cannot break them. If anyone is asking if you can break the waxes, they are they cannot be, they can't be hydrolyzed into the smaller form, into a smaller form. Okay, this is clear, into a smaller form. इतना समझ में आ रहा है? You cannot break them into the smaller form. So that is non-saponifiable lipid. Have you heard about this ever? I don't think you know about this. And second part is saponifiable lipid. Saponifiable lipid contains one or more ester group, allow it to undergo hydrolysis. Just opposite. Saponifiable lipids you can break. You can break them. How you can break them? You can break them by any method, like you can use acid, you can use base, you can use enzyme. Right? So on the basis of hydrolysis, you can classify them into the two: saponifiable and non-saponifiable. Okay, correct? ठीक है, right? So this is clear. Any doubt? किसी को डाउट है? जयप्रकाश, any doubt? ठीक है. So what are the example of non-saponifiable lipids? The example of non-saponifiable lipid is, बोलो, हाँ, steroids, prostaglandins and terpenes. Steroid, हाँ, steroid you can break them, prostaglandin you can break them. But this is example, non-saponifiable का example है, you cannot break them. Okay, ठीक है. स्टेरॉयड भी नॉन सैपोनिफिएबल है. प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन ये हार्मोन्स हैं. स्टेरॉयड्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल का फ्रेमवर्क है, तो ऑलरेडी ये ब्रोकन है, यू कैन नॉट ब्रेक देम. ओके, सो अदर काइंड ऑफ लिपिड्स आर ब्रेकेबल. ठीक है ना. तो वी कैन क्लासीफाई the lipids on the basis of hydrolysis and also we can classify them as a polar and non-polar. What are the example of non-polar lipids? What are the example of non-polar lipids? Non-polar lipids. Okay, non-polar lipids such as triglyceride. Triglycerides are non-polar. They can be used for both the purpose: energy storage and fuel. Energy storage and fuel. Okay. Polar lipids. Polar lipids which can form a barrier with an external water environment are used in membrane. Okay. So that's why polar lipid is important. Why they are important? Because they are interacting with the external environment which are rich in water, because polar molecules are soluble in water. Polar lipids soluble in water. Polar lipid soluble in water. Soluble in water. ठीक है. Polar lipid which can form a barrier with an external water environment are used in the membrane. कहाँ पे use होते हैं? They are used in the membrane. So if we are talking about the polar lipid, what are the examples? Examples are glycerophospholipids and sphingolipids are sphingolipids. इसको क्या बोल सकते हैं? Sphingolipids भी बोल सकते हैं. Clear? इतना समझ में आ गया? So we can divide further lipid into polar and non-polar. Okay, we can divide the lipids further into the polar and non-polar. ठीक बात है. Polar and non-polar. So polar lipids, for example, glycerophospholipids. ग्लिसरोफॉस्फोलिपिड्स, ओके, हाँ ग्लिसरोफॉस्फोलिपिड, ठीक। स्पिंगोलिपिड, ये क्या है, पोलर लिपिड्स, राइट। नेक्स्ट वी कैन मूव द बायोलॉजिकल रोल ऑफ lipids. What are the biological role of lipids? All lipids are insoluble in water. First thing, they are insoluble in water. They are soluble in only non-polar solvent, like ether and chloroform. They cannot be, if you want to dissolve any wax into the water, they are not, right. If you want to dissolve phospholipid, they can be soluble because they are polar. So mostly non-polar lipids are not soluble in water, right. You can dissolve them only in the non-polar solvents, okay. And already we have discussed, if you are eating a lot of fat soluble vitamins, then you need a fat to digest these vitamins, to incorporate these vitamins. So fat is stored in adipose tissue, where it also serves as thermal insulator in subcontinuous tissue and around certain organs, okay. So they are acting as a thermal insulator. If there will be temperature less than 4 degrees centigrade, what will happen? Only the lipid can make you survive, or any animal can be surviving because of lipids, okay. So non-polar lipids are present highly in the nervous system. Why they are present in the nervous system, non-polar lipids? Because why they are present in the non-polar lipids? The lipoprotein. We have discussed about the lipoprotein, right. Lipoprotein is made up of lipid and protein. So lipoprotein this is also important because in the combination of protein, they are important part of cell membrane in the mitochondria, and also they are very good for transporting lipids in the blood. You cannot transport the lipid in the blood if lipoprotein is not there. Lipoprotein acting as a micellin, है ना. Nowadays they act as a drug delivery vehicle. They are acting now as a drug delivery vehicle. Why? Because they can transport any drugs, any molecules in the blood, okay. So remember, and for example, if you want to understand many of the diseases like obesity, diabetes mellitus, atherosclerosis, then you must have a good knowledge of lipid biochemistry, right. Nowadays what people are doing, they are making a profile of lipid, है ना, lipidome, right, lipidome. Have you heard about the lipidome? So this is about the lipid biochemistry, है ना. आजकल देखो बहुत सारे हार्ट अटैक हो रहे हैं, तो ऑल दीज हार्ट अटैक इज बिकॉज ऑफ बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल, है ना. तो गुड कोलेस्ट्रॉल, बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल, देयर आर टू टाइप कोलेस्ट्रॉल, वी आर डिस्कसिंग शॉर्टली. सो दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ओबेसिटी, डायबिटीज मेलिटस, आर्थरोस्क्लेरोसिस. आप देखोगे कि बहुत छोटे छोटे बच्चे बहुत मोटे हो रहे हैं. तो व्हाट आर द रीजन? दिस इज ए मेडिकल कंडीशन, ओके. These small kids are getting obese. Why they are getting obese? This is a question. So by understanding the lipid profile, lipidomics, we can understand, divide the complete lipid into the simple lipid, complex lipid, okay. So we can see the graph chart by where the classification is given. This is the chart of lipid, okay. So lipid can be divided into the simple lipids, homolipids. Second category is the beeswax, carnauba wax. All these waxes are categorized into the simple lipid because they are not containing any other things. But if you are talking about the phospholipid, what is the phospholipid? Heterolipids or compound lipids, okay. Phosphoinositides, they are inositols or compound lipid. They are not derived lipid. Remember this. There is a great difference between the derived lipid and compound lipid. Compound lipid having the lipid with something, lipid with phosphate, lipid with protein, okay, lipid with inositol, lipid with any other lipid. Okay, so that's why they making the phosphosphingosides, sphingomyelin जिसको बोलते हैं, right? So glycolipids, they are rich in the brain cerebrocytes in the form of kerosene, right? Phrenosine, nervon, oxynervon. So these are the, I think इतने डेप्थ में आपने कभी स्टडी नहीं किया होगा. तो अगर आप रेगुलर क्लास अटेंड करते हो, then only you can enrich your knowledge, because knowledge is power. If you don't have knowledge, you cannot cross any examination, है ना. अभी CUT के बहुत सारे बच्चों ने दिया, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन उन्होंने मिस किए, बिकॉज द बैकग्राउंड वॉज नॉट वेरी गुड. ठीक है ना. तो अगर बैकग्राउंड क्लियर करना है तो यू मस्ट अटेंड द क्लासेस रेगुलरली. ठीक है ना. अब लाइव क्लासेस के फीचर्स क्या है, आप घर पे बैठे सेफली आप अटेंड कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट की स्पीड का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. ओके, वो करना है. ऑडियो वीडियो थोड़ा नोट्स लेके बैठना है. यू मस्ट सिट विद द नोट्स, है ना, सो दैट यू कैन राइट वट एवर द इम्पॉर्टेंट. इफ एनीथिंग यू वांट टू डिस्कस, यू कैन आस्क द क्वेश्चन. ओके, एंड आफ्टर द क्लासेस व्हाट यू शुड डू, क्या करना चाहिए क्लास के बाद, टेल मी. थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन देखो कि इफ यू आर एबल टू सॉल्व एनी क्वेश्चन और नॉट. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन यू कैन आस्क मी. ठीक है बेटा, कर लोगे. हाँ, राइट. ओके, माय वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग. अभी इंटरनेट आपका सही करो, क्योंकि मैंने तो फुल स्पीड MBPS में दिया हुआ है. एनी अदर पर्सन? मोहम्मद, आर यू गेटिंग प्रॉपर वॉइस? हेलो. Voice is perfect or not? हाँ, वो तुम्हारा भी ब्रेक होके ही आ रहा है, तो ज़रा सा ट्राई करो. कौन सा नेटवर्क है तुम्हारा, वोडाफोन है या जियो है? वोडाफोन है. जियो पे ट्राई करो. अभी देखो मेरा जियो पे लाइव है. ठीक है ना. एयरटेल पे मैं आपको जूम पे स्ट्रीम करता हूँ और एयरटेल पे लाइव हूँ. ठीक है ना, जूम पे. तो आजकल तो दो सिम वाले फ़ोन है. यू कैन करेक्ट विद दैट. ओके, कर सकते हो, नो इशू. तो देर आर टू टाइप ऑफ लिपिड्स, कंपाउंड लिपिड एंड डिराइव्ड लिपिड, दैट रिमेन. तो ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड कंपाउंड लिपिड्स, फॉस्फोलिपिड, फॉस्फोइनोस्टॉल्स, राइट, phosphosphingomyelins. And if you see the classification of derived lipid, they are consisting of three categories. First is steroids. Steroids, you can see here, terpenes and carotenoids. Carotenoids are rich in plants. Okay, and all these are also found in the plants. Tetraterpenes, triterpenes, diterpenes, monoterpenes, polyterpenes, right? So this is all steroid. This is all about the steroid. Steroid, terpenes, carotenoids. These are the three categories of the derived lipid. Okay. So you got the point. Any questions? Okay. Okay, beta. Chalo. So Satya also facing the same issue of network. Okay. Muhammad, are you getting the perfect voice? Hello. Okay. Okay. So after 10 minutes it may be disconnected, so you can join by using the same link. Okay. So now after the classification, we should go into the in-depth study about the structure, about the isomerism, because isomerism is very very important. Then we will see packing ratio, then we will see the nomenclature also. So now we are very clear about the complex lipid. Complex lipid, three types: phospholipid, glycolipids, and other complex lipids. Okay. So phospholipids, right? Phospholipids, they are containing fatty acid and alcohol and phosphoric acid. Don't miss that. They are made up of three things: one, fatty acid; second, alcohol; and third, phosphoric acid. Okay, you should not miss this. Okay, and in the glycerophospholipid there is another alcohol which is called as glycerol, right? In the sphingophospholipid the alcohol is different, which is the sphingosine. Will you remember it? याद रहेगा आपको? हेलो, okay. So which alcohol is there in the glycerophospholipid? Glycerol, right? Glycerophospholipid, GPL. And which lipid is there in the sphingophospholipid? Sphingosine. Sphingosine. ठीक है? Correct? Sphingosine. And another lipid is glycolipid. Glycolipid means sugar. Sugar plus lipid. The lipid contain fatty acid, sphingosine, and carbohydrate. Fatty acid, sphingosine, and carbohydrate. ठीक है ना? याद रहेगा ना? So these glycerophospholipid, sphingophospholipid, all they are containing the different type of alcohol. Okay, glycolipids, fatty acid, sphingosine. Sphingosine is the alcohol, right? And the carbohydrate, sugar is there. Other complex lipid, example is sulfolipid and amino lipids. Sulfolipid and amino lipids. Okay, so you might be aware of the lipoproteins. So lipoproteins comes into this category. Now you can see this is example of what? This is containing the phosphate, this is the containing the glycerol. Glycerol is alcohol. So what will be the name of this lipid? Tell me, name. What is the name? Glycerophospholipid. Glycerophospholipid, because they contain the glycerol, phosphate, and non-polar chain. So name will be glycerophospholipid. Glycerophospholipid. Okay, beta. And what is the name of this lipid which is frequently occurring in the membrane? So because sugar is attached, you will be called them as a glycolipid. You will call them as a glycolipid because sugar attached. Sugar is attached. Correct? So now the nomenclature you can see there are different kind of lipid. For example, sometimes they are mentioned 12-0. 12-0 means 0 means no double bond, no double or triple bond. Okay, 0. This is 0. 14-0 means total carbon is 14, no double or triple bond. But if I am talking 16:1 delta 9, then what does it mean? Carbon number will be 16 and there is a 1 double bond. and what is the position of double bond? This is mentioned by delta 9, यानी double bond is present between 9 and 10 carbon. Is it clear? Hello, is it clear beta? Okay, ठीक है ना. तो this can be asked. Stearic acid is a which kind of lipids? This is normal lipids. Okay, stearic acid 16 कार्बन palmitic, याद रखना. 14 कार्बन myristic, 12 कार्बन lauric acid, 18 कार्बन stearic acid, 20 कार्बन arachidonic acid, 24 कार्बन lignoceric acid. Okay, 16 1 palmitoic acid, 18 1 oleic acid, 18 2 linoleic acid, 18 3 alpha linoleic acid and 24 arachidonic acid. ये स्लाइड में शेयर कर दूंगा जो एनरोल्ड बच्चे हैं, ठीक है ना. तो आपको ये मिल जाएगा. एंड यू मस्ट रिमेंबर 20 कार्बन है एराकिडोनिक एसिड और इधर क्या है 20 आर्किडिक एसिड. तो डबल बॉन्ड जुड़ने से दिस इज आर्किडोनिक एसिड. ओके, 18 कार्बन का अगर आप देखो दिस इज स्टेरिक एसिड. 18 2 क्या है लिनोलिक एसिड. 18 3 क्या है अल्फा. ये CSIR में काफ़ी पूछा गया है. सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अल्फा लिनोलिक एसिड में कितने बॉन्ड होते हैं. तो दिस इज रिप्रेजेंटेड एज 18 3, राइट. एंड देयर आर 3 डबल बॉन्ड 9 12 and 15. Now other thing you can observe that about the melting point. melting point घट रही है कि बढ़ रही है बेटा? जितना कार्बन बढ़ रहा है. तो जितना कार्बन बढ़ा रहे हो, now you can see the melting point linear chain में बढ़ रही है. बट अगर डबल बॉन्ड अटैच हो गया then you can see this is decreasing. हाँ, 4 डबल बॉन्ड है तो माइनस में चला गया, 3 है तो -11, 2 है तो 1 to 5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. ओके, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट यानी मेल्टिंग पॉइंट चेंजेस व्हेन देयर इज अ डबल बॉन्ड, क्योंकि ऑयल बन जाता है ना, तेल बन जाता है, राइट. सॉल्बिलिटी इन वाटर, जितना ज़्यादा चेन लगाओगे उतना सॉल्बिलिटी कम होगी. ओके, और जबकि बेंजीन में भी रिवर्स होगा. जितना ज़्यादा चेन बढ़ाओगे उतना ज़्यादा बेंजीन जो कि नॉन पोलर सॉल्वेंट है दे आर लेस सॉल्युबल. तो इट्स क्लियर आई थिंक. अब देखोगे लिपिड इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ पैकिंग. मेम्ब्रेन में पैकिंग होती है, ठीक है ना. तो आप देखो देयर इज ए दिस लिपिड मॉलिक्यूल, देयर इज अनदर लिपिड लाइक दिस जिसमें कि डबल बॉन्ड है. ये लीनियर है, लीनियर हाइड्रोकार्बन चेन. देयर इज नो डबल और ट्रिपल बॉन्ड्स. तो ये सीधा स्ट्रेट चेन दिखा सकते हो इसको, ठीक है. लेकिन अगर डबल बॉन्ड को दिखा रहे हो तो ये थोड़ा सा इसे झुका हुआ है, देख रहे हो ना, थोड़ा सा झुका हुआ है. वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ डबल बॉन्ड्स. देखो CSIR में काफ़ी सिलेक्शन करा चुका हूँ. अगर कॉन्फिडेंट हो ना और डेडिकेटेड हो तो नो वन कैन स्टॉप योर सिलेक्शन. CSIR हो, CEVT हो, DBT हो, गेट हो, खाली आपको क्लास ही अटेंड करनी है, राइट. ओके, नाउ वी आर ज्वाइनिंग अगेन, ठीक है. Okay. It should not be slow. अभी लाइव आ रहा हूँ, अभी स्टे करो, ठीक है। हाँ यस, आ गया मैं लाइव, ठीक है बच्चों। यस, हेलो, देख पा रहे हैं सारे? स्क्रीन कर लेते हैं शेयर। हेलो, साउंड आ रही बेटे? हेलो, अभी दीपावली में काफ़ी ऑफर्स चल रहे हैं, 20% डिस्काउंट भी है, तो इफ़ एनी पर्सन इज एनरोलिंग दे कैन गेट ऑल द क्लासेज विद 20% डिस्काउंट। ओके, दीपावली ऑफर का फ़ायदा उठाओ। नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द पैकिंग। अगर मान लो मेम्ब्रेन है, कोई पैकिंग होनी है, तो विच काइंड ऑफ lipid is suitable, that is the question. Okay, so if you are packing with the linear saturated fatty acid, because fatty acid saturated, it's a very difficult to bend, आप bend ही नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है। अगर आप bend नहीं कर सकते then there is a problem, ठीक है ना। if you cannot bend them there is a problem. So that's why this configuration, that's having the double bond, you can make the kink, so they are more suitable for packing, okay, got the idea? If this question is there, hello Muhammad, unmute yourself and reply. If this is the question that which kind of lipid is more suitable for packing, so what will be your answer and why? Tell me, what will be your answer? Okay, network problem. Okay, so what is the solution? You can change the network, because almost 2 SIMs everywhere is available. But from my end, this is a very good speed, I am having streaming also. I have put off the video so that you can get the right stream, right kind of voice, but no problem, you can get the recording, right? So you can request for the recording, then we can provide you the recording of the lecture, so that whatever the things have been discussed, you can get it properly. Okay. So here I have discussed just packing, which lipid is suitable for packing, which lipid is more suitable for packing, more suitable for packing. Right. Okay, beta. So now, hello. Now you can see linear lipid is not suitable for packing. Why? Because you cannot bend them. Bending is a little bit of tough. Okay, bending is little bit of tough in nature. So that's why there is a problem. Okay, you got the idea? So only this kind of lipid are more suitable for packing. Okay, Jayaprakash? Now we are talking about the precursor and derived lipids. Okay, so already we have discussed some of them. There are lipid soluble vitamins, hormones, ketone bodies, right? And glycerol, steroids. So basically the steroids, lipid soluble vitamins, hormones, ketone bodies, all these are part of some precursor or derived lipids. Okay. So what are the example of neutral lipids? Neutral lipids, you have heard about the polar and non-polar. Okay. Polar versus non-polar. But there is a third category which is called as the neutral lipids. Neutral lipids. What is that? What is the neutral lipids? So these are the neutral lipids. Means they are not having any kind of charge over them. So glycerides, cholesterol, cholesterol esters, all these are the example of neutral lipids. All these are example of neutral lipids. Okay. What are the example of essential lipids? How you can define them as essential fatty acid? Essential fatty acid are those which can only be obtained from the diets. Okay, you cannot synthesize them, right? You have to eat them in the diet. That's why they will be called as essential fatty acid. Two fatty acids cannot be synthesized in the human body. These fatty acids are not synthesized in the human body. That's why they must be supplied from the outside, and they are called as the essential. Okay. What is the essential lipid? Means they cannot be synthesized in the body. They have to be supplied from the outside, right? And what is the energy production by the lipid? Amount of energy produced in the lipid is around 9 kilocalorie per gram, right? So that's why if people are eating high fat diet, obviously they are getting the obesity. What is the favorite food in the Kerala or Karnataka? Where you are in the Kerala, na? Rice, and then I don't think they are eating wheat. They are not eating too much of the high fat diet. Okay, they are not taking high fat diet. Hmm. Right. So they are not taking too much lipids. Now we are going to discuss about the unsaturated fatty acid. So you will see in the nature, mostly fats are not having saturated fatty acid. Mostly they are having the unsaturated fatty acid. Unsaturated fatty acid means they are having cis double bonds. They are having the cis double bonds. Okay. They are having the cis double bonds. Cis double bonds, what is the identification of saturated fatty acid? If you are writing the saturated fatty acid, they will be like zigzag. Okay, and they will be having high melting points, right? So if you are heating them too much, then their chain length may decrease, right? And there is a always showing the geometric isomerism. Unsaturated fatty acid always showing the geometric isomerism. What is the geometric isomerism? Geometric isomerism means if double bond is there, they don't allow any rotation. Okay, they don't allow any kind of rotation. That's why you can say there is a geometric isomerism. So geometric isomerism are of two types, cis and trans. Okay, so this question can be asked in various competitive examination about the geometric isomerism as a cis and trans. Okay, so cis means same side of the bond. Okay, and trans means opposite side of the bond. Opposite side of the bond. This is same side of the bond. Okay, same side of the bond only. Don't allow any kind of rotation. So if you are talking about the isomerism in lipids, there are two types of isomerism, cis isomerism and trans. Cis means same side of the bond. You can see HH. They are occurring in the same side. That's why they are called as the cis isomerism. Next will be trans isomerism. What is the benefit of cis isomers? So they will have break in the chains, kink in the chains, right? Break in the chains, kink in the chains. Because if the non-polar group are there on the same side, they can repel strongly each other. That's why they are causing the bent or kink. And bent or kink, if they prevent cis fatty acid from packing closely together. This question can be asked: which lipid is more favorable for packing, cis or trans? More favorable for packaging. वो कौन सा होगा? cis होगा? No, that will be trans. Trans is best fit for packaging. Okay, they are best fit for packaging. Clear? So I think this is clear. Isomerism are of two types, cis and trans, and only specific kind of isomerism may exist in a chain, and the repulsion or packing totally depends on which kind of isomerism is there. Okay. What are the trans? You can see the hydrogen is just opposite to each other. So this kind of isomerism is called as the trans isomer. Okay, they are structurally similar to saturated fatty acid. Both saturated and trans fatty acid are going to pack closely together as a monomer, right? So trans isomer do not alter the geometry of the pack. So trans fatty acid are present in natural foods. They are raising the blood cholesterol level, particularly the LDL cholesterol. What is LDL cholesterol? Low density cholesterol. There is another cholesterol, that is HDL, high density cholesterol. So if your diet is rich in trans fatty acid, then they are removing trans fats. They can remove HDL. They can remove HDL. Right? Trans fatty acid reduces the HDL cholesterol and can raise the risk of coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease. Okay. Right. So everything we have discussed for today. Now many other things we are going to discuss tomorrow, like complex lipid, about the non-glyceride lipid, okay, their composition, their role, okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about a little bit about the TAZ, phospholipid. Then we are discussing tomorrow glycolipids, lipoprotein, and then we will come to these steroids, ketone bodies. These are the part of our syllabus, and also we are going to study about the carotenoids and sequelates. Okay, till then, bye bye, and if you have any question you can ask me. Alright, okay बेटा, any question? ठीक है, हाँ, डेली रिवीजन करो, वीडियो देखते रहो, कोई क्वेश्चन है सॉल्व करो, एंड देन है ना, अचीव इनको. ओके, हाँ, यस, put all hearts in a rest. Pardon beta? Which book? Both are good, depends on the reputation. You can check their reputation. Reputation you can check.